Every great story begins with a dream. For Monkey D. Luffy, that dream is to become the king of the pirates, the freest man on the seas. For Eren Yeager, is to see the world beyond the walls, to break the chains that caged humanity. Both chase freedom, both are willing to risk everything for it, and yet one becomes the symbol of joy and the other the symbol of despair. Why? Because freedom isn't just about breaking chains, it's about what you do once those chains are gone. And that difference is what makes Eren's dream Luffy's reality. But if both of them chased freedom, why do their journeys feel so different? To answer that, we need to first look at the worlds they inherited. If you look at their cases, neither of them was born with the philosophy of freedom. Their worlds carved it into them. Okay, let me get into it. At first glance, One Piece and Attack on Titan feel completely different. One is colorful and full of adventure, and the other is bleak and drenched in blood. But underneath, they're strikingly similar. Both worlds are ruled by corrupt powers that control the masses with lies. Both thrive on slavery, oppression, and injustice. And both turn human lives into pawns for those in power. But the only difference is what rises out of that darkness. Luffy's world is cruel, yes, but it still leaves room for laughter, friendship, and dreams. He meets Shanks, sails into adventure, and discovers joy even in a broken world. Yet, on the other hand, Eren's world allows no such light. Behind the walls, humanity lives like cattle. Beyond them, they're hated as devils. Even the ocean, his childhood symbol of freedom, becomes just another prison when he learns the truth. And so their worlds plant the seed. Luffy sees freedom as a feeling of joy, and Eren sees freedom as a form of escape. Their worlds are similar at the core, both ruled by corrupt powers and oppression. But if both worlds are built on chains and lies, why does one man find joy in it while the other only sees despair? The answer lies in the way they chose to fight back. Both men decided to fight for freedom, but how they fight is everything. Luffy liberates, but here's the key. He doesn't just liberate others, he frees himself too. From fear, from limits, from the world's expectations. His journey is both an act of rebellion against tyranny and an act of personal liberation. And that's why his freedom is so powerful. It's lived, not just granted. Eren, on the other hand, does the exact opposite. To liberate his people, he enslaves himself. He becomes a weapon, a villain, and finally, a prisoner of his own choices. He chains himself to hatred, to inevitability, to the burden of being the devil for his people's sake. And so, their methods diverge. Luffy breaks chains by freeing himself and inspiring others to do the same, while Eren takes the chains onto himself so his people can walk freely. Both fight for freedom, but one through joy and the other through self-destruction. But what happens when those methods reach their peak? What happens when one man's joy becomes another's desperation? And that's where we see why Eren's dream is Luffy's reality. And here lies the tragedy. What Eren dreams of, Luffy already lives. Luffy is free every single day. He chooses his path, his crew, his battles. He doesn't need to kill the world to feel alive. The sea itself gives him freedom. Eren, however, was never allowed to truly live. From the moment of his birth, he's reacting to walls, to titans, to Marley, to fate itself. Even his final choice, the rumbling, isn't born from freedom, but from inevitability. Eren is a prisoner of his world, of history, and of himself. Luffy embodies the joy of freedom. Eren embodies the desperation for it. And perhaps that's the cruelest difference of all. But even if Luffy lives freely and Eren never does, freedom is never without a cost. Which brings us to the true burden of being free. Freedom is not pure. It's not inherently good or evil. It's a blade that cuts both ways. In Luffy's hand, freedom becomes a celebration. Laughter under the sun, bonds that cannot be broken, adventures that inspire hope. In Eren's hand, freedom becomes a curse, a justification for violence, a mask for despair, and finally a burden so heavy, he chooses death over living with it. Luffy shows us what freedom looks like when it's shared. Eren shows us what freedom looks like when it's hoarded. One uplifts the world, the other tries to escape it. So after all this explanation, one question arises. What is this freedom really about? Is it joy, is it destruction, or something else entirely? And to answer that question, we return to the heart of their stories. And so, we return to the question we started with. What does freedom truly mean? Because freedom is not same for everyone. For Luffy, freedom is presence. To live fully in the moment, to laugh, to love, to choose his path without regret. It's a song, not a weapon. His freedom isn't about tearing down cages. It's about creating joy as if the cages never existed. But for Eren, freedom is absence. The absence of walls, enemies, and fate. His freedom is measured in destruction, in what must disappear for him to finally breathe. It's not a song, but a silence. One sees freedom as creation, while the other as erasure. And that's why Eren's dream is Luffy's reality. Why? Because Luffy already lives free, while Eren can only chase a shadow of freedom that forever slips away. In the end, Luffy and Eren are not so different. Both children looked at the horizon and longed to be free. But the same dream, filtered through different worlds, become two opposite destinies. Luffy represents the hope of freedom, while Eren represents the curse of freedom. One laughs as he sails into the unknown, while the other weeps as he becomes its victim. And so, I'll leave you with this question. If you were born in Eren's world, would you still choose Luffy's path? Or would you too become Eren Yeager? Thank you for watching till the end. I really wanted to make this video as I was fascinated by the thought of how one word could hold such a powerful meaning and two completely different outcomes. So if you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. And feel free to tell me what you think about this video. This is Yuviro and I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, keep talking about freedom.